Hey, hi, I'm Yashwant. Welcome back to the Interview Mantra playlist. Today we have Mr. Yashwant Alampati. So he is our guest today. He is currently working as an assistant system engineer at Tata Consultancy Services (TCS). So today he is going to share his views on how he cracked the interview and his experiences throughout his career. So it's glad, Yashwant, to have you in our playlist. So first of all, thank you for accepting our invitation to be a part of this Interview Mantra. So how are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing good, and thank you for inviting me. Actually, so
Yeah.
I feel very good because I see you doing a lot of stuff to help students out there. So I feel that I feel very great to be a little part of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, thanks a lot, Hashan.
That's good to hear, Yashwant. So yeah, I just gave a brief introduction about you, right? So can you tell me in your words, like what is actually your work and your designation in TCS?
Okay, I work for Ericsson from TCS.
Okay.
So Ericsson has a cloud product, C cloud execution environment.
Okay.
Yeah, so it is based on OpenStack Cloud.
Okay.
So what we do is we take OpenStack from open source, and we make modifications and we make customizations to fit the needs of Ericsson.
Okay.
So Ericsson, whatever, if it needs a feature from open source, it'll ask, or if it needs a feature that is not present in the open source, also it'll ask. So if at all it asks for a feature that is present already in the open source, you just have to integrate it, or else you have to develop it. And there are a lot, like we do DevOps. We do robot. We do automated tests,
Mm.
and we write the deployment scripts in Puppet, Ansible, and stuff.
Okay.
So this is mostly it. This is mostly it. So we
Mm.
take up a feature, and we do any of these things in the life cycle.
Okay.
So
Yeah, that's good to hear. Then, like, how did you get selected for TCS? I mean, your journey on, I mean, starting from online test or interview and joining into the TCS. Can you tell your journey?
okay, like when we were in
Okay.
college back then, we had TCS NQT, which is TCS Ninja.
Yeah.
So which I've attempted it. I really didn't do that good, but I have done good in this programming section. This section where they'll ask about data structures and all.
Mm, yeah.
Yeah, that section I have done good, and aptitude and English done good. Coding, I tried my level best. I couldn't crack it, but then I was called for the interview, and that's when
Okay.
I reached out to people. I reached out to people like you and our lecturers and professors, and old alumni to get some facts on how interview things will be done, and I have prepared accordingly, and I have
Okay.
attended an interview at Hyderabad, and then I have got selected for this
Oh,
role.
okay. So
That's
yeah, like what's actually your preparation strategy? I mean, maybe whether it may be for TCS or you might have selected for more companies other than TCS. So what is
yes,
your
yes,
preparation strategy? Like when I mean attempting a placement test or when attempting an interview, so there must be a strategy in your mind, right? So can you
yes,
share your
yes, yes,
preparation strategy?
yes. My preparation strategy, in the sense, first of all, I was first of all, if we should be ready with our academics, we should not have backlogs. That's the
Yeah.
eligibility criteria for most of the companies.
Yes.
So that I unknowingly have I was able to pull it off. By the time the interview was called for, I don't have any backlogs.
Okay.
Some companies accept at least one or two, so that part is fine. The eligibility part is fine. And after
Okay.
that, for aptitude, I just gone through YouTube. Lots of content is available on YouTube.
Yep.
So in clearing the entrance test is very important. You just
Mm.
have to stand out in the entrance test to get selected for the interview. So for that, I've gone through all the YouTube videos, and I've also, like, our college, Narayana Engineering College, has set up some aptitude classes where I've learned some concepts, and yeah,
Okay.
all these things have. Like, for aptitude and the other stuff, you have to do core hard work. No
Mm.
shortcuts or nothing. You just have to learn them. And programming, that's the most
Yep.
important thing. You just have to understand what's going on inside a program. You should be able to know what the basic concepts of at least one programming language by the time you attend the interview. Like, you should have done some hands-on programs on any one of the programming language. So So after clearing the test, coming to the interview, it's like my resume. I mean, I have prepared for my resume.
Yeah.
So my resume has I mean, I have Java, C, and by then I know MySQL and PHP and all that stuff.
Yep.
So I've worked on like what kind of questions we might be asked at the interview for Java, C, and I've learned all the programs and other things. I mean, I just made sure that nothing, if there is something I don't know, it is not there in my resume. If I don't know something, it shouldn't be there in my resume.
Yep,
so that thing I have taken very care. I mean, if I am at least not sure about, at least like if I'm not sure about PHP, let's say, like by then I know there is some, like I've also learned some other thing. I mean, I've learned Python also.
Okay.
But I know that if they ask something very deep in Python, it might cause a negative impact on my interview. So I might not be able to answer. So I have removed Python. I know Python, but I might not be able to answer all the questions from Python. So I have removed it.
Yep.
So I have kept only C and Java and MySQL and all the other technologies I know. I've placed all the paper presentations and hackathons that I have attended. I mean, when we are mentioning about a paper presentation or we are a hackathon, they'll definitely ask a question about it, what you have learned or what you have done. You should be really prepared to answer for that, because if you have attended something and if they ask you, like if you have attended, like we both have attended to Internet of Things paper presentation.
Yes.
So if they ask you what kind of sensor do you use for your for your project, if you are not able to answer, that's really gonna create a negative impact on you. So yeah, you just have whatever you have mentioning in the, I mean, in the hackathons or your achievement section, you just have to be very clear about it. And project is the very important thing. Without your project, mostly they won't consider you. I mean, mostly they won't consider us because that's how we tell those folks that we can handle technical stuff, because they'll ask this question for sure: what are the challenges you have faced while making
that is
your
the
project?
proof too, actually.
Yeah, if they ask, I mean, the way you explain to them matters a lot.
Yes.
So if you just say I didn't face any challenges, or like they'll understand, because if you have made a project on your own, you should be able to answer it.
Yep.
So they will use they have asked me what version of JDK. I have done a project on Java applets. I created a small game of luck or something, like which has a small game. So they asked me which version of JDK did you use. So I answered 8.0. So they asked me, why did you specifically use 8.0? So you just have to be able to answer the technologies that you have used. I mean, why did you choose that particular technology to do that project?
Yes.
And they have asked me, what are the differences between JDK 7 and 7.8?
Okay.
This I was not able to answer. And the very, very, very important thing that I have observed in all my interview experiences are that if you don't know something, you just have to tell that you don't know.
Yes.
You try to do what you do in the examinations. I mean, in the examinations, if we don't know the answer, we try to fill the stuff with something.
But it won't work here.
If we try to do that, they'll push you out. I mean, we just have to, like, if they know that you don't know that question, because they also don't know that question, because like, who notes the differences between JDK 7 and 8? They expect you to tell that you don't know.
Yeah.
So like, that's what a person should do. I mean, like, is this guy faking something, or is he really putting in front of us all what he knows? I mean, is he trying to do something which he's not? So that's why they ask you this question. They'll ask you at least 2 to 3 tough questions.
Yeah.
So which are not answerable by anyone. You just have to tell that I don't know, but I'll check about it. I'll get an information about it regarding this. I'll just know regarding this after the interview. You can answer it like that. If you
that's
don't
ideal. Yes.
That doesn't mean that you shouldn't. You should tell for everything that you don't know. I mean, you can't. You can't, like, if you know. I mean, if you are learning Python, if that guy asks you what is a list,
if you said you don't.
If you said you don't know, that's bad. I mean,
Yeah.
you just have to be thorough with the basics.
Yeah.
But if they ask you some advanced concepts, you should be able to tell that you don't.
Yep.
So, and yeah, mostly that's it. I've done a lot of mocks actually. It's
Okay.
very important. It's very, very important for us to do with our professors or with anyone.
Yep.
Like you might have your friends.
Yep.
Excuse me.
Yeah.
So like you just whenever we are going for an interview, we just have to ask our professors to do a mock interview.
Yep.
That's really very important because when you sit in front of them, how you behave matters a lot. This you will get through mock. Like if people are ready to take my suggestion, I mean, I want to suggest
Yep.
that you attend at least 2 to 3 mock interviews. If your college is setting up mock interviews, don't skip them. It's good.
Yep.
If they are not setting up interviews, go to your favorite professor and ask him to interview.
Yep.
So that's very important. And yeah, HR is pretty easy nowadays. HR is nothing. I mean,
Yeah.
HR, yeah, they just ask you your hobbies, and this is also very important. We shouldn't keep reading books and
Yeah. It's the
shouldn't,
same copy and pasting.
yeah, you shouldn't do it for the sake of it. I mean, if you have a hobby, you should really mention it. It can say playing cricket or anything.
Yep.
Yeah, but HR is okay. I mean, HR is you can able to pull off HR if you can clear the technical round. That's the big thing.
Yep.
And there are instances where people got failed at HR. So you should be able to, and you should have a good answer for this question. I mean, tell me about yourself.
Tell me. Yeah.
Yeah, if they ask you to interview about yourself, you should be able to answer. And one thing, I mean, the one thing that I have observed about this question is, if they ask your name and tell me about yourself, and if you start with my name is
yes,
yeah, they'll feel that you are not you don't have presence of mind or something. So if they tell that Ashwant, tell me about yourself, you should say that okay, I'm from, like, if at all it comes to you, like in one of my interview, you asked me, Ashwant, tell me about yourself. So I started with my name is Ashwant. So I got this into my consciousness and I said, okay, my name is Ashwant, as you have already mentioned. I just added this line. So if at all this happens, you can do this.
Yes.
So that's most of it. I mean, you just have to be very thorough with your tech project, your hackathons, and whatever you write in your
resume.
Technical skills. You have to be thorough with it. That's the most of it. Ashwant,
yeah, that's good to hear, Ashwant. Like, one thing I like it, like, we should not fake our resume. Like, it should reflect like our attitude towards like learning and participating in various activities. It should reflect. So when HR or technical interviewer have a look in our resume, so it should reflect what we are actually. So if we fake anything, I think it is easy for them to identify. So that is the first thing. I think you get that point. And yeah, I think it seems like you are very clear about your preparation. That's good to hear.
I was I was not at all. I mean, I don't even have an idea that I'll be able to clear TCS. I mean, it's the same with all of us. I mean, we all feel that we are not worthy, but every one of us are worthy. Every one of us can try. Even if you have backlogs, if someone from second year or third year is hearing this, I mean, from second year or third year or first year, please make sure that you don't have backlogs. Just you don't have to get distinction, but just make sure that you don't have backlogs, because that's the eligibility criteria for most of the companies. And so like all of us are feel that we are not worthy, but if we try, we can be able to do it.
Yes. Okay.
So that's.
And like it's a tricky question, Ashwant. Like, you might have selected for some other companies. Like, why did you choose TCS among all your, companies that you have placed?
Okay, so I got placed in other companies. I mean, Wipro and CTS, and but TCS, like TCS is the first company that I have got selected for. Okay. So until I get selected in TCS, I don't even have confidence in myself. Okay. So once like TCS has been emotionally like I got connected to it. That's the very first thing that why I've joined TCS. And TCS has a good name. I mean, like when you tell people that you're going to join TCS, I mean, they will suggest TCS, of course. That doesn't mean that other companies are good, but I got this first. So I had an emotional connectivity with it. But why I have attended other interviews is that people have said that TCS will call people late. They'll call
Okay.
after 1 year or so. So I got tensed about that fact, because if for 1 year, if I sit simply and if something happens, that idea has troubled me. So I have
Okay.
attended all the other interviews and got placed. But TCS has called us immediately after our graduation, 1 week after our graduation.
Okay.
So like that's the biggest like thing why I have joined TCS, and all the other companies are called late. So that's the
Okay.
biggest thing. And the second thing is they have offered some incentive.
Okay.
I mean, yeah, I've like we write some exams for TCS. After you get selected, you have to write few exams. These are
Okay.
not mandatory. I mean, if you write them, it's good.
Yeah.
If you are able to clear that, they'll give you some 40,000, 60,000 extra for
Yep.
the first month. I was getting that also. So I mean, I thought, why not? I mean, we are getting good money. So
Yeah. That's good to hear, Ashwant. And like, apart from programming, like what else do engineering students of first year, second year, third year need to focus on? Like, not only about getting a job. So in order to succeed in their career, like what is the other thing apart from programming that computer science engineers mainly need to focus on?
apart from
Like,
programming,
yeah.
you should be able to. I mean, the people should be able to know about what technologies are trending nowadays.
Yep.
They should be able to know. They should be able to articulate. That's the most important thing. If you know something and if you're not able to articulate about it, you don't know it. Simple.
Yes.
So if you know something, no matter your grammar, if your grammar is not good, that doesn't matter.
Yep.
If you are able to just put it outside, that's enough. You just okay. So if you are first year or second year students, try to be on the stage as much as possible. I mean, try to get rid of this stage fear. I mean, that's the biggest advice that I could give, because that's the way we learn to articulate. That's the way we learn to speak in front of people. Because grammar really doesn't matter. I mean,
Yep.
if you are good at the technology and if you have the will to articulate, and if you keep trying on, if you keep on trying, it will be very great. Because like I've seen a lot of people, like you see, Harish, right? I mean,
Yep.
Harish, yeah, Harish has he has not got that much good grammar, but he was able to articulate
Okay.
whatever he knows. With whatever knowledge he has, he's very good in articulating it. He'll speak about it and he'll make others understand about it. So that's the way he has also cleared some of the interviews.
Okay.
So
that's good. So express to impress, it's the kind of thing.
Yeah, it's like that. So we just have to be able to express ourselves, whatever it is. We just have to attend paper presentations. We have to know about technologies.
Yes.
We don't have to know the complete thing, but we just have to know what it is about. And you just have, it's very advantageous if you learn about at least one technology, like machine learning or blockchaining or these trending technologies or clouds.
Yep.
If you are able to get some hands-on experience on it before the interview, there are very high chances that you will be selected.
Yeah. Okay, Sean. Then like what resources do you regularly follow to stay updated? So yeah, maybe technologies or programming languages are keep changing day by day, right? So what resources do you regularly follow to stay updated?
No, I don't really remember the names of the website, but when like it's good to Google search. I mean, I just do a Google search and I just sort it by the latest. The latest thing, and I'll just go to the latest thing and I'll read about them. Mostly, I'll just check for the date. I mean, I'll just, if I want to know about a technology, I'll just Google and I'll just and that's the biggest source. And the second important thing is your channel has helped me a lot. I mean, like there were few concepts. I mean, when I was attending the interview, I had a very much confusion about what machine learning is and what deep learning is and what is artificial intelligence again. I mean, I had very much confusion about this. I was reading articles, but I was reading articles, but no one is explaining it to my understanding. So then I have visited your videos in your channel where you explain about artificial intelligence and what machine learning is and stuff. And with this knowledge, I have attended the interviews.
Glad it helped you.
Like, I mean, if people are like, if there is someone who wants to know about what technologies are trending and what are the latest tech news, I would suggest them to subscribe your channel, and of course, if it's not specifically your channel, any channel who keeps updating this stuff, because you are interested in it, and I see that you update about almost everything. I mean, you have even spoke about this Signal WhatsApp stuff going on around social media. So yeah, your channel really helped me a lot. Like I've watched 4 to 5 videos from your channel to get knowledge about things about, I mean, to get knowledge about some of the things.
That's great to hear, Yashwant. So and then, like, there is a myth that is surrounded with all the engineering students. Like in most of the service based companies, 50% of the people who are being, I mean, sit on bench for most of the time, and only 50% will get projects. So like I know that it is a myth, because it doesn't matter like whether you belong to computer science or other branch. Like if you have enough skills, if you have enough skills to express yourself, then there are chances that you may be deployed into a project. So can you burst this myth? Like, is it real, or is it really a myth?
It's not completely a myth. I mean, it depends. I mean, it depends on the individual and also the RMGs. I mean, there are like when coming to this project deployment thing, there are a lot of things that come into picture. I mean, it's not just one factor. I mean, it's not just RMG, or it's not just the person. So in most of the cases, it's that like I've got deployed in my project after 5 days in bench. Not even 5 days, 2 days, I guess. After 2 days, I gave interview for this project and I got selected. So it's like if you're a fresher, people won't expect a lot of things, but like there are a lot of other conditions that project people will ask. You should be able to accept it. So if at all you keep on rejecting 2 to 3 project interviews, it's hard. Like it's highly probable that you will stay in a bench for a lot of time. So you just don't have to. You shouldn't be very. I mean, because there are people like when I joined my project, some people have like my project. Very basic thing that I have asked is, okay, this project is very complicated. You just have to stay for minimum of 2 years to understand it. You just have to give a oral commitment that you will stay for 2 years for sure. Like that time, my project was on Python. So I mean, Python and cloud. I mean, it's a great combination. So I just thought, okay, let's stay and look. The others who went inside thought that, okay, why to stay 2 years for here? I mean, let's go to some other, and they have left. The thing is, they are still in the company, but they were not able to like they got project after 6 months or 7 months. So RMG is very busy. That this I want to tell you, because people keep on recruiting. So when they call for you and when they send for you for 2 to 3 interviews, you should be able to clear it. I mean, it's not really tough. You just have to give them few commitments that I learned, that I don't know this. Like if at all the requirement is very less, they'll only tell that we have less requirements, so you can go. They'll ask this. So, but if at all it's with you, I mean, like there are, like in some cases there are people who want to stay in bench. It's very rare, but they want to stay in bench so that they can prepare for other examinations outside. Like this is also a good thing. I mean, if your aim is that you can do it. I mean, so, but if the if that's the condition, it's very rare. But you just have to show interest towards the project. I mean, you just have to agree. I mean, you just like, my suggestion is you shouldn't just skip a project. Like few people skip a project offer just because they are night shifts. Or they just have to go to Adibhatla. I mean, which is far away from city. Like when coming to the TCS case. So you shouldn't. I feel you shouldn't really look after that. If the project is good, you just have to all the conditions and work according to the timings, because that's how software will be. You just don't have a 9 to 6 job. Because even my project, like my project's standard timing is 9 to 6, but I work nights also sometimes. So you just have to be ready for everything. You just have to be ready, and you should be able to crack it in 2 to 3 interviews, or else it will be very tough.
So it seems like it all depends on the individual, like, but not depends on the company or something.
A lot of factors. I mean, there are situations where people are very willing to go to projects, but RMG for that particular point of time doesn't see any requirements in the projects nearby. So they just keep them. So it's not that every time it's with the individual. It's sometimes with the RNG. It's sometimes with the individual. And and it's sometimes with both the communication, or it depends. It depends. There are a lot of things for the deployment team. You just don't have to worry about it. Clearing it, your interview is the biggest thing. After that, you definitely will deploy. So
I hope it gives an idea, at least, like regarding this bench concept. And for people who are willing to crack TCS or willing to join TCS, can you talk about work-life balance in TCS?
Okay, work-life balance. Everyone will ask us to work only. I mean, that's anywhere the same thing happens. No one will ask you to chill. I mean, they have, but you just have to. I mean, at least if you relax for 2 days, for 3 days, you should work hard.
Yeah.
I mean, you shouldn't really worry about your work-life balance, because I mean, it's good if you have. If you work regularly, but if you are a kind of person who don't work regularly, and if you have your own timings, it's good. It's work from home now, so there's no much different. But I mean, people will definitely ask you to work for as much as you can. If there are situations where you are understanding that your body is not cooperating you just have to say that I can't work this time. You just when you are saying that you can't work for now, you just have to give a commitment about when you will work again. So if I say I feel very tired today and I feel very exhausted about other meetings, I just say that I can't do it today. I'll do it on the next Friday. And then that guy will tell you how you. So you just have to make your priority list, and you just have to work. Yeah.
Then, like, what do you like the most, like working from home or working from office?
Both has its own pros and cons, but nowadays I'm very much comfortable with working from home. I mean, it doesn't really make a difference after we have Teams and Zoom and stuff. Now I don't really see any difference, because people will call you. You have your mobile. So it's all the same, but work from home is good. We are able to spend time with our family. We are able to attend family events if there are anything. And money is also saving.
That's true.
We can buy something. We can buy a new laptop or speaker or something. With the saved money.
True, that's true. Actually, we can also save time as well as we can focus on other side hustles or anything. But which is the same not possible in office.
Yes. In the office, or
we should be committed.
Or they are getting a lot of time, so that they are getting a lot of concentration as well, because they are staying at home. Mother will cook and stuff. You just have to wake up, and it's like college mostly. It's like mostly college. It's very good. I mean, work from home is good. I mean, I hope TCS will continue this for at least 5 years, so that we can enjoy our lives.
Maybe most of the people are hoping the same.
What do you like? I mean,
I like work from home, because like if it is working from office, then I have to be committed towards work. I mean, during the office hours. But here, like we can balance both. We can balance both personal life, both our side hustles, both work. So we can manage, and there will be no time restrictions and all those things. So I like work from home. Even it is for lifetime. Like I would prefer working from home.
That's a good option, actually. Like, I didn't expect the work from home will be this good. So it's really good.
Also, like apart from work and all those things, like what do you do in your free time? I know that, but for people who are watching this.
Okay, we have a channel named Soda Films, where we make films, not short films. I mean, they are short films, but they are not YouTube content. I mean, they are not how you fight with your brother or how you fight with your. They're not like that. We make stories. We choose stories. They are intense. They are so we choose stories and we act, and we upload it. We do mimicry video. I also do mimicry. So I now and then I very rarely upload mimicry videos, but we do short films. We do very good short films. I mean, we have people who does music. We have good cinematographers, and we have good content, and we have good content coming as well. Soda Films is the name of our channel. Like, if you want, you can subscribe, or if people are watching it.
At least few people will get back to your channel.
I have acted in a short film named Victory. which is about engineering students. So yeah, I'm not promoting it, but yeah, you'll get a very good experience. It's about academics. It's about success and failure. So
yeah.
Search for Soda Films Victory and you'll find it. Watch it.
That's great, Ashwin. And like one last suggestion that you can give to the viewers of this video, like regarding placements and planning.
Yeah. So yeah, friends, just believe in yourselves. Just think, just believe that you can do it, and just like don't take every suggestion that you will find online, offline. When you're going to an interview or an exam, speak to as many people as you can. Don't speak to negative people. I mean, if people are telling that, hey, you can't crack it, don't try it, don't encourage negative things. Speak to a lot of people, follow channels like this. I mean, follow people like Ashwant, and follow Kotu's professors. Get some knowledge and sit and plan. Just look at the syllabus and do it. And resume is the very important thing. Just make sure you make a proper resume, which is well formatted and well planned. The resume, and just have a knowledge. Don't put anything blindly. Have a knowledge on everything on your resume. Everything. That's what I suggest. Resume and everything in the resume. That's the key.
Okay. It's great, Ashwin.
That's
like,
it.
And like, can we wind up now? Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks a lot, Ashwant. Thanks a lot for inviting me to this.
Yep. And it's great, Ashwant. Like, and first of all, like, I need to thank you for accepting my invitation straight away and
that's fine. I mean,
giving your time. Yeah. Because it was not always possible for everyone to spare their work time for programs like this, but yeah, you did. And also it really helps people who are watching this, whoever watch this, they will get at least few insights. So. Yeah.
Yes, I hope so. Please, please just watch as many videos as you can, and just learn. Please use YouTube for good also. Like YouTube is very good. So just make sure you learn technical stuff also on YouTube. That's what I would like to just add.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, Ashwin. Like all the best for you. Everything.
Thanks a lot. Thanks a lot, Ashwant. Thanks for helping a lot of folks out there, and thanks for inviting me as well.
That's my pleasure.
I hope you're also successful with whatever you're doing.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot for inviting me.
Yep. Thanks, Ashwant. Then okay. Then thank you for watching this video. And there are many other sessions that are going to be uploaded in the coming days. So please subscribe to my channel if you are not already. And if you like this conversation and if you want someone else to get benefited from this video, please share this video. Thanks again. Thank you for watching.